Check, please.
Welcome back to Everything Money. We are obviously saddened to hear that another Boeing airliner went down in China. We're going to talk about how this could affect Boeing as a company and the airlines in general. This is the third one for Boeing. I watched that recent documentary on Netflix. It's terrible for the families and for the workers who are at Boeing. We'll talk about what's going on with their financials and how this can affect them for the shareholders at home and for the shareholders that work there. We're also going to look at Southwest and American and see where these companies are headed as well. Because in the end, if you're a shareholder in Boeing, you're probably a bit worried, and we'll help guide you through what the numbers look like and whether we'd be investing or avoiding this company. Paul, give me your thoughts on Boeing and these airlines.
This plane crash in China.
Very sad.
Immediately, everybody attacks Boeing. I will say,
go on.
They grounded every Boeing 737-800 in China after this crash. So I'm wondering if they have information about Boeing, or was it preventative? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
They grounded every single plane. It's like, okay, why would they do such a thing? I don't know. So you have to sit there and wonder about Boeing. Boeing's had its issues. That documentary came out at Netflix, which you watched, that said yes. Boeing knew all along what was going on. This is not the 737 MAX. It's a totally different airplane. But
it was basically an autopilot mechanism that they didn't inform pilots about.
Is that what it was on this one? It plummeted from 22,000 feet to 7,000 feet, or then stabilized to like 10,000, and then crashed.
Oh, really? Stabilization?
In a matter of 96 seconds, because they said they lost communication after 96 seconds.
Yeah, because the documentary was showing it was basically an autopilot thing that they actually, it turns the nose of the plane down, so the pilots were fighting it. So their final trajectories for both were sort of this roller coaster until it finally just went into the ground. But this is sad as usual and not good look for Boeing, which frankly made an enormous order with my company this morning.
Yeah.
So I work with this company. Some of our people in the EM chat are Boeing employees.
So I don't want to be this too silver lining of a person, but with Boeing, they've got some serious issues on the trust front, right? Mm-hmm. Here's a company that had the trust of the world for a long time, and all of a sudden, few incidences occur, shattered.
Now, there aren't that many airplane making companies, and so if a plane does go down, it's probably this or the Skybus, the other company. Yeah,
Airbus.
Airbus. Thank you so much. It's either one of these two. I mean, it's not like there's so many different cars. No. So I mean,
yeah, there aren't many, which is a benefit. Let's see. I don't even know where Boeing's at right now. So let's go to our 8 pillars. Let's go to Boeing.
It shows that it's up today.
Wow, it is up $192. Okay, COVID crash. It was down to 100. Oh, wow. I didn't think it was made $192. I don't think it was even worth 192 when it was stable. I mean, the revenue. Let's look at the revenue numbers. Oh my lordy, revenue's down 40% from 2018. Jeez, oh Pete, profit. Forget about it. Forget about it. They ain't gonna have any profit, guys. I'm holding off on Boeing. I could miss the boat here, but initially, I mean, look at our 8 pillars. Let's go to our 8 pillars tab.
Oh, Lord.
How do they even have money to buy shares back?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They bought shares back.
Where's
the money coming from?
Maybe a tip jar?
I don't know. Listen, this. Some people would say this is the time to get greedy about it because everybody's scared. But I don't think their valuation, even at a normal level, look at their normal level of profit. Their normal level of profit, their peak was $10.5 billion. This is a big company. Assigned 15 times profit, that's a $150 billion market cap. Their current market cap is 113. So it's not like some screaming deal. Mm-hmm. With all these issues coming and having to get back to normal, I don't know. I just look at it going, this is a pause for me while they get stabilized, and there could be a lot of downturn coming for the stock. And it's not even a screaming deal as of right now because their revenue is down 40%. They're not making money. Let's see how their cash flow looks. Are they even cash flowing? No, they're not even cash flowing. They've lost $27 billion in free cash flow in the last 3 years, $28 billion. Guys, this is a pause for me. I ain't touching this thing. Flag on the play. I ain't touching this thing. I ain't touching this.
Well, what else could go bad and wrong? Is it the numbers are telling you you're not going to touch it as opposed to just market sentiment about this company being...
Yeah, I'm not saying don't trade it. Mo will do a video on the trading aspect of it. From the standpoint of value, I don't see the obvious screaming deal here. It's not like it's selling for $30 billion and their revenue is $60 billion and they're just destabilized like Southwest was back in the day or I think Carnival Cruise Line is. It still needs to stabilize. And even at stabilization, its best year ever was $10.5 billion in profit. Its average in the previous 5 years of profitability was like $5 billion. So it's still selling for 24 times its average of the. I'm out. I don't do it.
How about Southwest that's flying Boeing planes?
Let's look at Southwest. I bought Southwest at $25 on the nose, sold at $47. It's currently at $42.50, but it went up higher from $47.
Tickle me with those 8 pillars.
So let's go to the 8 pillars here. Again, they've got it's bad stuff here, but look at it. Look at why. Look at their revenue. Their revenue isn't even close to their peak revenue yet. They hit a peak revenue of 20.95 right before COVID. They're at 14.25. Let's look at their profit. Yeah, their profit's still less than half.
Pillar number 2.
Yeah. However, do I like Southwest? Yes. This is their first year of loss in their 40-some years of existence, their first year of loss. I just look at this saying, what do I do with Southwest? I wait on Southwest. Do I like them? Sure. Is it an obvious screaming deal to me? 20 times 5-year PE with a big loss in there, maybe it's not bad. Everything Money community, 6,000 people in there. You can go in there and search LUV or Southwest, and there will be people discussing. You can discuss your ideas because research is hard. Do it with a community of thousands and thousands of people who can all break up the information together, right? It's 6,000 minds versus one mind. Which one's better? Get the bull case, get the bear case, get these discussions going, have a conversation about it. That is why we created the software. People requested it. We delivered it. It allows everybody to research companies without waiting for us to make a video. And the best part is that alone and the news justifies the cost of $1 per day, but you get all of this stuff too, including video content, exclusive video content from Seth Mo and I, everything on your mobile app. This is a no-brainer, guys. $1 per day. You heard that right. $1 per day, less than a cup of coffee. You probably spend $4 or $5 at Starbucks every day. $1 per day gets you all of that. If it increases your returns by 1 or 2% a year or allows you to avoid the losses of 1 or 2% a year, it will lead to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Sign up everythingmoney.com or Patreon for our international users. Sign up now, $1 per day.
If we're close, can we run Stock Analyzer on South?
Let's run Stock Analyzer. That's a great idea. So guys, we use Stock Analyzer tool here because every investment's a present value of all future cash flow. And when you buy a company, which you're doing when you buy a stock, when you buy a company, you are buying a future stream of cash flow, okay? The Stock Analyzer tool will basically ask you to give your revenue assumptions, profit assumptions, et cetera, and it'll tell you what that present value of the future cash flow is.
Let me be very clear. We get a lot of questions in our community, in the comments, on Instagram, Paul, about what numbers you're putting in here for your assumptions. So be very clear on how and what, because if we go right to revenue growth, we see a dramatic fall off between the 1 year and the 5 year. So where are you going with Southwest?
So they still have to recoup 33% of their revenue, which I think they're going to do very quickly. So I might actually go. So the first 2 years, call it 15% a year. And then after that, it's probably 4 or 5. Let's call it an average of 6% on the low side, 8% on the mid, 10% on the high.
Drastically different from 74, Paul.
Obviously, because they came off COVID.
Okay, go on.
Profit margin, 6, 6.5, and 7. Free cash flow margin, 7, 8, 9. PE, 13, 15, 17.
Currently 26. 5-year PE is 21.
I wouldn't even look at that stuff because of the coming off of COVID.
Okay.
And a 12.5% return for margin of safety. Hit the analyze button.
Current price is 43.
Yep. So we have one price here above. Now, I like this. I actually feel to myself, it's a mid to high 30s stock. So I'm going to add 40.92 to my watch list. All I do is click the check mark and just notify me when it goes below 40.9. And I can even change it. I just want it to be 41. I can do that. Notify me. Okay, I'm there. Or I can add it to my watch list up here. Either way, I'm now going to be notified by the software on my phone and everything when the stock hits $41 a share.
The last stock we want to look at is American, Paul. We get a lot of requests for American Airlines. I'd love to pull it up. Ticker symbol AAL. I fly United, so I have nothing to do with American. But let's take a look at it real quick.
So we're going to the 8 pillars. We're going to type in AAL, American Airlines Group. All right. So we're on American Airlines here. 8 pillars are not going to be pretty. Let me look at this.
Goodness.
The cash flow is actually up over the last 5 years. What does that say about American Airlines? Let's look at their cash flow in the last 5 years. Jeez, they just lose money. Even before COVID, they were losing money. Pass. Guys, I just don't like the airlines. My personal opinion of the airlines is you got to be really, 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 really smart or really, 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 really stupid to invest in the airlines, because I don't know which one it is. Because you have to Warren Buffett always jokes that he doesn't get the airlines. Southwest, though, I just look at Southwest as the unicorn of the airlines. They make profit. They hedge their fuel costs well. I just look at it that way, and I'd be cautious here.
Well, they're also they have that specialness with their culture, like a Disney.
They're fun.
They're fun. Yeah, they have these viral videos of the attendants sort of doing funny dances and stuff. Like, people really enjoy. You go to any other place, and they're just going to drag you off the plane if you, of course, if you break any rules. So, all right. So, and as you said, Paul, you brought up Warren Buffett and the concept of there's been thousands and thousands of airlines that hadn't made it, and you're not. You just stay away.
Yeah, it's the airline industry is going to grow and grow and grow. Doesn't mean airlines are going to do well. Look back at 100 years. Obviously, we're much bigger in the airline industry now than 100 years ago, and look how many airlines have gone bankrupt. This is what I don't get when people argue like, "Oh, this industry is huge. Invest in it." It's like, well, no. I have to invest in smart investments, companies that make sense. Doesn't matter if the industry is growing or not. What matters is the company worth it or not? And in this situation, I don't think American Airlines is worth it.
So guys, Boeing used to be a wonderful stock to trade because you could catch a really long trend on it. And I talk about long trends, and that always comes from the long-term chart. You used to be able to get these incredible long runs and then big runs down on Boeing. Now, unfortunately, since everything started with coronavirus, that has since stopped. So what we are seeing now is one of the biggest, most notorious 50% roll stocks that is happening with Boeing. And I'm going to try to draw this 50% line right in the middle. So 50% roll, if you don't know, you have your high, you have your low of 52 weeks, and then you have that middle ground where the stock just cannot push through. What people will do is the people that lost in here, they will say, if I could just get 50% of my money back, I'll exit the position. 50%, they give back 50%, stock price falls. It happens again. These people that did not exit here are saying, if I could just get back my money, just get back that 50%. They get up here, falls back down, and it's just a vicious cycle, and it just struggles to break through what is that 240 level right now. You had a little blip, but it didn't happen. So with Boeing, of course, the news of the plane crash in China is going to send them for a little bit of a wild ride. Right now, not much happening. It's going to be a downtrend. This could certainly turn into a dog stock. It'll just coast along the bottom of the stochastic and go sideways for some time, maybe trying to bounce to that 220 level. But if I was you, I wouldn't trade it over here. I would come to a swing trading chart and see if you could take advantage, unfortunately, of this unfortunate event. And maybe Boeing stock will be punished a little bit. It looks like they are right now. They're starting to come into a downtrend. You could certainly short this thing and maybe squeeze something out to this 170 level. Now, Boeing's not the most ideal stock to day trade, but on days of news, days that that something as if a plane crashes or they cancel some jet production or a big airline cancels an order with Boeing, that's when you can go ahead and take advantage of these little runs that happen with Boeing. But overall, it's not the best stock to day trade. I certainly would prefer this from a swing trading perspective because news happens fast, but news also ends fast. And that's where you could take advantage of this one. So I will be honest with you guys. I have not looked at Southwest Airlines stock or thought about this stock in such a long time. It's been, when I really think of the airlines, it just pops into my head, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, Jets ETF, etc. But I forgot about Southwest. I remember buying this thing at $25 on the nose. Paul and I grabbed that thing at $25 on the nose, had this incredible run to the mid 40s where both of us ended up selling. So this is an example of a 50% stock. Here's your high, here's your low, and here's that middle ground. And this one was able to get through. This was able to bust through that 50% area and push through. So the 50% is not a worry anymore. And I like to show this because I only talk about 50% stocks, and you usually don't see all of this. You just see a stock that just keeps coming and bumping into what would be the 50% line. So that's really good. Very interesting that they pushed through it. But right now, from a long-term perspective, I don't really foresee anything happening. Since basically July, they've barely been able to get in the sweet spot. This happened in October. This happened in probably this month in March. But right now you can see that they've dipped back below. So from a long-term trading perspective, I probably wouldn't do anything here. I think they're just going to consolidate in this range because that is a big support level right there for some time until the airline industry decides to go in one direction or the other. What can you do in the meantime, though? Come on over here and swing trade this. See if you can catch these little 3 or 4 day runs that happen up, or 5 or 6 day runs that happen down. Right now, you're just stuck at three major moving averages: 25, 50, and 100. Now, I do not think you're going to push very high above this 25-day moving average. And why? It's because of this volume. You notice that we have decelerating volume. I don't like it. You're starting to roll on this stochastic. To be honest with you guys, this is probably not a stock that I would trade on a regular basis. It's just not enough movement for me. It just consolidates too much. It is news driven though. So when you have news, come over here and day trade it. Come over here to a 15-minute chart. See if you could squeeze out a couple of trades. Actually, today you could have, nope, you couldn't have because you weren't here. Let's see. Actually, yesterday in the afternoon, you might have been able to squeeze out a little bit of a trade. But the majority of the time, you're not going to get good day trades on the airlines. But when there is news, mask mandates, vaccines, travel is coming back, food prices are coming down, gasoline prices are coming down, that's going to cause the airlines to spike. So take advantage of those days. Keep them on your radar as news-driven events. There you go. You know, when we look at these airlines, we talk about the 50% rule that happens a lot, and you're seeing that with American Airlines. Southwest Airlines was able to dip down here and come back up to this area, but American Airlines has not been so lucky. I would venture to say that United Airlines has not been so lucky either. Boeing certainly has not been able to. So I'm going to draw the 50% rule, and let's just see where we're at. So this is really looking similar to Boeing. It had a big rundown. People that lost all their money in here just said, if I can get half of my money back, I will be happy. That's when you get this big run up. People get half their money back and they sell. Stock price runs up again. Those that didn't sell back in this area are saying, if I could just get 50% back, comes in here, comes right back down. They tried to sneak out for a little while, but actually they had a little ugly face pattern in here as well. Here's your ugly face pattern. Here's your eyes, and here's your ugly mouth, and here's that big fall. So there's a lot of things going on with American Airlines. Again, just like Southwest, they have not been able to get through into this sweet spot and go for a real long-term run since July. They tried in maybe December, tried in March, just not working for them. So if it was me, I would not be trading this from a long-term perspective. I would be coming over here to a swing trading chart because I like what I'm seeing here. You get a good trend up, you get a couple of good days of buying volume, engulfing candlestick, make a little bit of money. Make a little bit of money here. Same situation. Buying volume, you're in the sweet spot or heading to the overbought range. Also, you get a lot of good downtrends because, guys, these airlines are very news-driven stocks. So anytime there's negativity out there, turn to the airlines. Look for the downtrends. Look for the multiple days of selling volume and try to catch some of those swing trades coming down. If you want to learn about swing trading, come join me in the Bid and Ask Nation, and you will absolutely learn how to make money in just a couple of days and make quite the return from a swing trading perspective. Day trades, airlines, again, when there's news, trade them. Otherwise, nah. Swing trading is the way to go with airlines.
Yeah, we're sad about the crash in China. I'm sad for Boeing as a company and their workers. I can't imagine what that Monday morning feels like for both, obviously, the families that have lost and the workers who their lives depend on this company making planes. So we will keep you posted on the airlines, on Boeing, and subscribe. There's a language we're speaking. You have to watch more videos to understand it. And in the end, we hope to guide you to better investments and moving forward. So that's our take. Subscribe, follow, thumbs up. See you next video. Thanks for watching.